Hello, everyone, and welcome to Aaron Shack Politics. Listen, last night I was on a live with Santana Jones and a wonderful panel of guests that were chatting about Trump's Liberation Day, RD Day, about the stock markets, just absolutely plummeting, about Asian exports, about the Trump family's crypto scam, and, they're just hoping that all this works out as our economy just plummets as there are tariffs, and of course, tariffs in response to the American tariffs, which the ones that damage us the most are the ones that Trump has placed, which actually affect us the most. Now, why do I mention this? Santana Jones, you can find him on YouTube, TikTok, Blue Sky, all the various locations. I'm going to have links in the description down below. I wanted to share this conversation with you guys in this panel, and I'm just sharing the part from when I jumped in, and you'll kind of see us go through a various range of issues. I tackle a little bit of the America First thing, and then I get into Palestine with someone that seems to be like fairly reasonable and not like a super Zionist, but like it was someone who claimed to be a Jill Stein voter, which I was like, okay, we could work with you. Like you're not totally lost, you're not totally deranged or anything. You're kind of in this independent middle ground, but it also seems like he was backing Trump quite a bit. So it was a little bit suspicious. And, we just have to take people at what they say at face value. So once again, I want to thank Santana Jones for having me on. I really enjoyed being a part of this panel. I think he has a gift for like figuring out, oh, it looks like you might have a response on this. Or like, listen, I want to ask you this question. And it's like sometimes you can get lost in the sauce when there's so many panelists and it's hard to give everyone equal time or to like figure out like when should this person respond or what question do I ask what person, and he has a gift for really like looking at people and seeing, just getting like a quick formation of thoughts on them and just being like, okay, that's what they're all about. This is what they can talk about, or like, let me ask you this because of who you are or because of what I know about you. And so being able to assess people like that at face value, or even for the people that have been there in the long term, and he just knows really well, what issues they like to tackle and what they like to discuss and argue about back and forth. I think it's a really good skill. So check out his channel, follow him on TikTok, follow him on YouTube, support him on all the different places, and of course make sure that you're following Aaron Shack Politics here on YouTube, TikTok, everywhere. I'm trying to do lives there as well, and I'm, of course, creating content here. And this is kind of the main home where everything lives, because you never know where TikTok might go, and various other platforms disappear over time. But, YouTube has been very strong, and there hasn't been, there has been some censorship, but I mean, not to the point that I'm dealing with TikTok where I have to appeal almost every video that I make on Palestine. So once again, I hope you enjoy this video. I think this is a really cool discussion, and let me know what you think down in the comments down below. Take care, be safe, and we'll see you shortly, all right?
I want to come to Aaron. Aaron, we are all over the place. Where would you like to take the conversation, friend?
Boy, I could really comment just a little bit on the America First stuff, because the isolationism that comes from is actually rooted in stuff that happened in World War I and World War II, and it is a common phrase of the Triple K group, so it's rooted in that type of supremacy, if you know what I mean. And the big thing that I always point to when people bring up what America First is all about is there was a famous political cartoon by Dr. Seuss. So it's appropriate. And it's basically a mother reading a children's book to her children. And she says, and the wolf gobbled up all the children and spit out their bones. But those were foreign children, so their lives didn't really matter. So that's kind of where America First comes from, what the sentiment is. It's, hey, we shouldn't get involved in foreign conflicts, let Russia take Ukraine. It's not our problem. We're way over here in America, let's work on veterans and the homeless people and all this other stuff. Like we can't walk and chew gum at the same time, So it's the same thing with Palestine. It's the same thing with what's going on in Gaza. It's, well, those are Muslim kids. Oh, that's Muslim women and children and civilians and all that stuff. Why should we care about them? And so Trump's policies are alienating us throughout the entire world. I mean, we are the laughing stock of the world, and multiple human rights organizations are putting us on watch lists for loss of human rights, and not to mention the money that we send to places like Israel, where there are multiple human rights violations from multiple agencies, Human Rights Watch, Amnesty International, the list goes on, United Nations, not to mention South Africa's case in the ICJ. It's not looking good. So I would say Trump's doing a pretty bad job.
Yeah. Yeah. No, listen, I completely agree with that. And like that's the mind numbing thing to me. I want to hold that thought for a second, Aaron. I want to come back to Slowy.
Sure.
Slowy, what do you think about what Trump, I mean, not Trump, what do you think about what Aaron just said, right? More so specifically, again, we understand where your allegiance lie, right? With Jill Stein, but even more than that, you're willing to roll it forward with Don Jr. And so you're basically saying that you want those things that Aaron was just talking about. Like, how can you align with that? I'm confused.
Well, I would have to ask, what things specifically do you think I'm aligning with? I don't think America is a laughing stock to the world right now. I think the media is portraying us to be a laughing stock, but any leader who puts the country and the country he represents and leads ahead of other countries should not be laughed at or mocked. And that is what the left has repeatedly done. Is Trump wants to put America and Americans first, and it's just been a war on his character, a war on his policies. No matter what he does or will do, they will never say attaboy or tell him good job or hand him his flowers. So it's kind of an uphill battle. Like, he's not going to win over anybody from the left that didn't vote for him in the second election.
Got it. Got it. So the one thing that I will call out though is, yeah, I mean, but they are laughing at us like world leaders are making fun of Trump behind his back. I mean, like it's a whole thing, and I'll even share a anecdotal story, right? A quick personal story. My wife was actually traveling, coming back into the country, and as she was traveling, coming back into the country, she handed over her passport, and they took a look at her passport and saw that it was a United States passport, and the person said, "I feel sorry for you." And then went on to talk about how bad things are in the United States and how, it's just it's we have such a negative outlook as far as who we are as a country, as people. And my wife just went through the process of like, hey, I voted for Kamala. So like that's a thing. It's a thing. But Aaron, like for some reason, Sloy doesn't think that that anyone's actually laughing at the United States, or like for some reason thinks that we're still respected.
Boy, that's tricky. I will say that, the third party vote is interesting. I think America could do well with a third party coming in and potentially giving both parties a run for their money. And I like what Jill Stein had to say about Palestine. I like what she had to say about AB and how the Democrats never codified it and, just kind of screwed around for years and years, using that as a way to hedge people to vote for them. Be like, oh yeah, we'll get it done this time, but you can't not vote for us because otherwise the Republicans will win and take it away. It's essentially the pew pew control for left wingers. For the right, that's their fear-mongering issue. For the left, it's the AB stuff. So, I mean, in regards to we're not the laughing stock of the world, I mean, your anecdotal story that Santana brought up really says it all. I mean, we just have to ask people in other countries how they see us. Just look at what, prime ministers of Canada look at us and say. Look what European leaders across the world look at us and say. Mostly our allies that we are now vilifying with these tariffs, which once again hurt us more than it hurts them. They're doing retaliatory tariffs against us, which is, probably going to hurt us even more. And the fact that they're not buying, for example, Canada's not buying our alcohol, right? And the fact that we import car parts and stuff from other countries, we get wood from Canada. Our number one export is mostly things that we drop on other countries, if you know what I mean.
Spicy balloons.
Yeah, I need to learn the TikTok word. I like that, spicy balloons. Yeah, we drop a lot of spicy balloons. And so that's our biggest export that we wholly make, right? And so, I mean, it's ridiculous to say that, because it almost brings up ignorance. You just got to look around. You just got to look at more news sources that are not just the ones that validate your thoughts. I can say that even as someone who's left wing, it's important that I get out of my bubble and try to see what right wingers are saying, what kind of news they're getting, and try to see both sides of the issue so that I get a full picture, whether I like it or not.
Yeah, absolutely. I do think that stepping out of your bubble is very important, no matter which side of the aisle that you fall on. So I know Jillian had her hand up, and Jillian, I want to come back to you so you can add to the conversation as far as whatever you wanted to add. But then I also want to introduce the new people on the panel and allow them to join the conversation. So we're going to go Jillian, we're going to go Demi, we're going to go Rachel, and then we're going to go Deacon. All right. Guys, I do have one box left open. I would love to get someone up that actually supports Donald Trump. Someone that actually, Sean, you haven't seen it. Sean, Trump said he wants to run for a third term. It's a thing. Yes. Jimothy said he wants to run for a third term. It's a thing. But anyway, I would love to actually get someone in the box who actually supports Donald Trump, who's excited about the direction that the country is heading, someone that's excited for Liberation Day. So again, I'm going to leave this box open for someone that is a Trump supporter. So please only request up if you are someone that supports Donald Trump, or if you're in the chat and you want to be brought up and you support Donald Trump, please make sure that you make it known. I think please make it known, and I will bring you in. Also, guys, again, please keep tapping the screen, share the live, do all the wonderful things. Let's go to the likes of 250,000 likes. Also
2028, Trump 2032.
And mods, I'll bring the people in. Don't bring anybody in. I'm sorry, are you a Trump supporter, friend?
Of course. I'm voting 2028 and I'm voting 2032.
You're voting 2028 and 2032. Cool. What state do you live in?
I'm not disclosing any information, any personal information about me other than my age.
You can answer the question or you can go.
All right, then. Have a good day.
Peace. Anywho, if there's a Trump supporter that would actually like to add to the conversation, I will give you a spot on the box and we can keep it moving. Last but not least, guys, there's 606 of us hanging out here. We still have $155 left in our nightly donation goal. If 155 people send $1, we can close out our nightly donation goal. Cash App, PayPal, Venmo, all of the pay links are in the link tree in the bio. Santana Speaks 24, best way to support the live. If you enjoy the information, education, entertainment, please consider donating. Everything is accepted. Anything's appreciated. And if you're over on YouTube, you can send a YouTube super chat. Jillian, floor is yours.
So this, I think, is pretty short. I think Slowy, I think you said something about, we shouldn't laugh at Trump when he is trying to do what's best for the country and what's best for the people. He says, his words say that he's doing what's best for the country and the people. But if you actually look at the actions that he takes, the only thing he's doing best for is himself. He specifically, all the way back to, I shouldn't say all the way back because it goes further back than this, but when he basically got all the Republicans to vote against the bipartisan border bill a few years ago. And he said, blame it on me if it doesn't pass. He did that for his benefit, for when he was running for president so the Democrats wouldn't have a win. It's just, if you look at the actions, ignore the media, ignore whatever else, just look at the actual actions and things that happen. He's not doing what's best for the people. He's doing what's best for himself.
I guess my rebuttal to that would be I highly doubt he is the only politician ever to withhold a policy right before election season. And the fact that he does it so publicly just kind of goes to show the transparency in which he is bringing to the government, where most of the time, or the fact that this is a talking point at all for Trump, just goes to show how much of a smoke and mirror there are for the career politicians, because this is standard practice and has been standard practice during election cycles.
Right. And I'm not going to say that no other politician has done it. I was just trying to point that out. Is you can't say that he's trying to do what's best for the country and what's best for the people when everything that he does is hurting the country and hurting the people. I wasn't talking about any other politicians.
Well, I would disagree that everything he's doing is hurting the country, especially if he was able to use that for a political positive, and he gained power by doing that. That in itself was a good act, because what he is doing is benefiting the country as a whole, in most cases.
In what way?
I don't know. Did you see his new war on Ticketmaster that he just started today?
Oh God.
Jeez, Louise, you guys are so
I
easily
don't have
impressed.
the energy for that one.
You guys are so easily impressed. Yeah.
Can we just
The
take
war
a
on
second
Ticketmaster.
to step back and say that who does
Hey,
that
how about
benefit?
how
Does it
about
benefit
how
big
about
companies? It
how about
benefits
the
the
how about
American
the
people
war
directly.
how about the war in Ukraine or in Russia? How about that one instead of Ticketmaster? Or how about the war that in the war that's occurring in Palestine, where he wants to actually take over Gaza? Or how about the war that he's trying to start to actually take the Panama Canal or Greenland? But you want to talk about the war on Ticketmaster? I mean, there's a lot of wars to pick from. It's just interesting that you picked that one.
Oh, okay. So hold on. So I'll just do a quick speed run. The Panama is being bought out by BlackRock currently. I think.
Yeah, they bought a lot of ports. Yeah, they bought
Right,
ports and all this other stuff. Yep.
So I would 100% support him taking control from BlackRock and giving it to the American people or the government. That is a great thing to do.
I love the BlackRock
privatizing
boogeyman, but go ahead.
You should do some research.
I
as
have.
far as the
I
war
have.
on, as far as the war in Ukraine and Palestine, I think forcing peace. I don't necessarily agree with where America falls on in regards to Gaza, but forcing peace. If you just read, if you use different ways to define his actions and what he's doing, it doesn't sound as bad. Like, he's forcing peace in Ukraine, he's forcing peace in Gaza. You know, where
Doug's in
America
the chat for
falls
management.
doesn't necessarily. I don't like that, but you know, I do like the way that he is trying to force peace in.
Wait. So you
conflict.
like him forcing peace by proposing ethnic cleansing?
Well, it is unsafe to live there. Like, that is, I don't like the term ethnic cleansing.
I don't care what you like. That's what he's proposing.
The conditions of those buildings is unsafe to reside in.
Oh, okay, cool.
We
Then
should
why
all
not?
agree on that.
Wait. So why not actually help reestablish the area, the land, and then allow their people to return to the land?
Okay, so just so you know, this is why I don't like the term ethnic cleansing, because you have to remove the people out of the unsafe area, no matter what. Whether the power or the land is going to go back to the Palestinians or Israel. The first step to this problem is removing the people from the unsafe area. Correct?
Yeah. No. Donald Trump is trying to actually force them out of the land, telling them that they cannot return, they can't come back. He wants to actually occupy that land and then hand that land over to the actual Jewish people there. I can't even think straight. Yeah, no, he doesn't want the Palestinians to return. That's the point. The Israelis, yes, that's the word I was looking for. He wants to give it to the Israeli government after that. I couldn't even find Israeli government. That's where we are.
That's the part I don't like. Right? If I resided in Gaza I would not want to leave. I wouldn't. I would feel like I'm being forced out, even though
Yeah,
it's
because it's
unsafe. Like
ethnic
you should be able
cleansing.
to look around. Well, no, but you should be able to look around and just be like, "This is unsafe. My kids could get hurt in anywhere. Like there's debris. Like it's you see the footage, the film. It's not a safe place to be in currently because of the destruction. And if he was just to say, hey, we need to get everybody out of the unsafe area instead of we're going to give control and this, that, and the other. And he worded it incorrectly, which he does quite often, but he's done that
No,
before he
no,
was in
no.
office.
That was him. That was him being transparent, like you talked about. That was him being transparent. You remember how you were just talking about him being transparent? That's what he was
Yes.
doing. That's
Which
what
you
he
can't-
wants to
is
do.
Is that a red flag? So at least you know exactly what the American government's plans are when he
No, you
speaks.
don't, because the thing about Trump is he lies all the time. Not only does he lie all the time, but he also lies about what he knows. It's a cycle. It's a cycle. It's an absolute cycle. Donald Trump lies about his lies, and then he lies to himself about his lies that he told, and then he forgot that he told the lie, and then he said that I said that he was a dictator because he doesn't remember stuff. Anyway, W's in the chat for Keith, who sent a $20 super chat over on YouTube to say, this is for your nightly goal. Please keep doing what you're doing. Kenneth, you are absolutely amazing. Thank you so much for that $20 YouTube super chat. Guys, Cash App, PayPal, Venmo, all the pay links are in the link tree in the bio. Santana Speaks 24, best way to support the live. Also, if you are over on YouTube like Kenneth and you want to support, you can always send a YouTube super chat. Aaron, I know you had your hand up, but I definitely want to I'm gonna come back to you, but I want to get to the other people that are on the panel because they've been waiting patiently. Demi, the floor is yours. What would you like to speak on, friend?
There has been so much since
So much.
here.
So much.
I want to make a snarky comment. First, yeah, of course, you would be okay with forcing people off their lands because you're okay with an individual that has been convicted of 34 felonies, including rape. So men forcing themselves onto people, you're okay with voting into office. First and foremost,
Fucking
snarky comment.
colonizer. I'm sorry.
Second comment, Jillian, I wanted to thank you so much for speaking out. I believe it was you speaking out for individuals that have gone through SA, and the simple fact that they don't always come forward right away. It takes a lot to come forward, and especially when society demeans the individuals that come forward and ask them, oh, well, were you asking for it? What were you wearing? And they try to turn it on to the victim. Yeah, it's very difficult to come forward as somebody that has unfortunately gone through it myself. Third major thing is no, there is nothing that Trump is doing that's good for the country. He's weakening our military. He put people in charge that can't even understand how to work classified documents and want to use open channels to do it. Then claim they're not classified, even though if they're not classified, they should have been classified. And if they were classified, then they were doing it on an open channel. As somebody that served in the military for 6 years with a top secret SCI clearance, I'm very aware of how classified documents work. And yeah, they fucked the hell up.
Oh, language
Either way,
friend, my mama's watching.
oh, I am so sorry.
Ooh, I'm
Either
sorry,
way,
mama.
either way
POP,
you
hold
spin
me
it,
down.
they messed up horribly. And instead of it taking accountability, they're trying to push it off like a damn toddler. I'm sorry. Santana, I am so sorry. Kick me
My
off the
mom
panel.
watches this every night. She's so excited. She watches and then she calls me the next day and tells me about like the show and her favorite people and all this other stuff. Whew. I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, you're fine. Like, do you actually not allow swearing? I've never been.
I try to keep it
Okay,
keep it clean.
no worries.
Keep
I
it
will
clean.
try to curve my language. I do apologize for that.
You're good. You're good.
But no, either way you swing it, they messed up, and instead of taking accountability, they're acting like little children. Oh, well, they made me do it. Or no, it was actually their fault. Like playing this little pointing finger games after they literally just made speeches that when you make a mistake, especially when you're in a position of this power, you should be held to the full accountability and removed from your position. Something along the lines, I'm paraphrasing Hegseth, but they said something very similar to that right before they got called out for this. So no, nothing Trump is doing is good for this country. RFK is going to damage our healthcare system. Hegseth is unfit for the position, and our country is literally going down a regime that it will not come back from unless we step in and stop this in some way, shape, or form. And last thing, Santana, I have never had the pleasure of being on your panel, so thank you
Thank
so
you for
much for
being here.
allowing me up here. That's about what I have to say because that's all I can remember of everything that has gone on so far.
It's been crazy.
Yes,
It's been wild. Camera, stop moving. Hold on. Darn it. Sorry. Now I'm like distracted. Okay. Yeah. I gotta fix my camera. Okay, give me a second, Demi. Rachel, what would you like to add to the conversation?
Well, first of all, I just saw the comment that Slowy just made, asking why. I think he was asking about Hillary and why she wasn't fired after they found her server. First of all, this is not about Hillary. That's over. That is old news. She was grilled in, like, oh, the investigations were so hard. She went through so much. She sat and she answered questions for hours on end. And now we have Trump who wants to say, oh, well, no, it was a successful mission, so who cares? No, it's espionage. Everything they're doing is harmful to this country. I'm like so fired up. I'm a little tongue tied at the moment because I'm really, really angry about how they turned this. The first day Trump said he didn't even know about it. And I actually believe that. I believe Stephen Miller was actually speaking on his behalf the whole time. So what I do think is once Trump found out about it, he said, oh, no, we're just going to have to cover for this. They all know it's a huge deal and it's not going away. Nobody is letting this one drop because it is such a painful situation for the entire country. There's not one former military person who will tell, no general all the way down to like infantry. None of them will tell you that this is
in chat for Sean.
It's a huge problem. Everybody around the world has access to our information. Nobody is going to actually want to give our country any state secrets anymore because we leave them open to our enemies. Who wants to help us? And now let's get back to sexual assault here.
Essay. Who TikTok friendly language, guys? Keep tapping the screen. Let's go ahead and get the likes up to 200,000 likes. Also, our daily gift goal are the donuts. Speaking of donuts, I actually love a good donut. Anybody like Krispy Kreme donuts? Are you guys a Krispy Kreme donuts or a Dunkin' Donut fan? Or do you have a local donut shop? Which one do you guys like in the chat? I prefer Krispy Kreme glazed donuts. No diddy. All right, so you were talking about essay.
Essay, yes. I'm a essay trained advocate.
Oh, okay.
So I've gone through tons of DV and essay education, as well as doing my training with the YWCA here in the Chicago area. And there are so many aspects to essay cases that most of us will never even know that are realistic. So let me just explain something this way. Why do some cases get tried as civil as opposed to criminal? Well, that's because even if you go to the DA or to the police and you tell them what happened to you, if they can't, if it's not 100% that they can prove it, meaning that they go and interview people at a bar where you met somebody, and they're asking, well, what happened? Did you know, was she buying her own drinks? Was he buying drinks for her? The juries will actually say it's the woman's fault if she was buying her own drinks. Juries do not believe women unless they were dosed, which is ridiculous. So, yeah, go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say, yeah, I completely understand, and like, well, yeah, the thing that I think that a lot of people take for granted is not only how much it takes for women to actually be heard in the country, but how
Mhm.
also like a lot of people think that they are pro women or pro people or pro U.S. but they still support Trump and not understanding not only what this administration is actively doing to harm women but children, people of color, just all across the board. So I think there's a lot to be said to that in general. Um, but I do want to keep pushing the actual conversation forward, specifically kind of around where we were saying, and I know that you weren't here for earlier in the conversation, so I do want to ask you a quick question. Um,
Yes.
what are your thoughts around the fact that Trump is sitting here saying, W's in the chat for Erica. What up, E? Who actually just became a team member over on YouTube. Yes, guys, you can subscribe over on YouTube. If you are watching over on YouTube and you want to become a subscriber, go ahead and grab a subscription. You can actually join the Discord, a bunch of really cool emotes, all those wonderful things. But Rachel, like I was saying, with the actual, the fact that Trump wants to run for a third term, like, I mean, we're already living through a lot right now. Like, what do you think about that?
He can't. I know he's going to push that. It's in I think it's the 14th Amendment.
12.
But I think there's something that says that he cannot run for VP.
Right, that's the 12th
Is
Amendment.
it 12th? Okay, I'm a little scattered tonight.
No, you're good.
But yeah, basically it says in there, because that was the end run. That's what they were going to shoot for, because they're looking for all of these little end runs, like what how can we get it, how can we get him in? And the truth is, it's not that he's trolling. I think that it's something that he loves the thought of, but it's not. He can't run again, period. And he can't be anybody's VP and then have them step aside so he can be president. It won't work. It won't. It doesn't. It's not going to happen. It's in the Constitution. Now he wants to dismantle the Constitution. He wants to keep dismantling everything. And to be honest, I want to say one thing real quick here. The reason that Roe versus Wade was such a big deal is so much more than what people understand. Roe versus Wade was the bulwark against all other slights to the Constitution, meaning VAWA, which is the Violence Against Women's Act. Trump's been holding that up. He held up the funding for that, and that's where all the SA funding comes from. That's also where the funding and the protections for anybody who is trafficked, that is also where those protections are. They're in VAWA legislation. And Trump has held that up so that he could actually get Roe pushed through. So the dismantling. And now that he's done that, that's since Roe was one of our major pieces of protection, it's been so easy for him just to repeal everything else. And we are just not where we were before. We need to be safe again. And I want to be safe. I want you to be safe, Slowy. You're not safe. None of us are safe. Nobody who lives here is safe anymore.
Yep. No, I completely agree with that. Hey Corey, how are you? And I am. Hey Corey, how are you?
Hi, I'm good. How are you?
Corey, would you like to do a mod?
Sure. Give me a second. I have to. Okay, so let's make sure that we're getting those likes up. And the shares, do all the things. Santana, I think you need to update the gift goal up there. Donate so that we can hit the nightly goal. Do all the things, guys. Do all the things. I'm not very good at mod announcements.
Yeah.
But do those things.
Do the things. Corey, I have to hear your opinion on this. Trump third term. What do you got?
Oh, it's ridiculous. It's unconstitutional. I think everybody, even if you are MAGA and want to go through the mental gymnastics of justifying it, it's unconstitutional. And they're the super uh, followers of the Constitution, but keep finding ways to justify all the unconstitutional things that this administration has done, and it's frustrating.
Absolutely, absolutely. Corey, anything else that you wanted to add to the conversation?
I think so. This whole Trump family crypto scam, I don't I don't think I'm up to date on that. So I kind of want
Ooh,
to see some conversation about it.
yeah, yeah. Let me do this. So let's share this, right? Um, let's see here. So this is a great article that was actually talking about how they took over a crypto firm and they've used it to raise millions of dollars, right? It's the world, they actually use world liberty tokens. And from the point they've gotten over $280 million raised from buyers purchasing 1 million or more of the, I don't even know how to, WLFI, will it legal? I don't know what that is, but the token. And so, yeah, I mean, this is a great article that actually speaks to how they have actually done that and how they continue to actually enrich themselves with the $550 million. And the crazy thing about this, Corey, is we all know how, you know, crypto is like the Wild Wild West, right? And not only is crypto like the Wild Wild West, the fact that they are able to sell this actual crypto and anyone can purchase it from any country all around the world, right? So there's a lack of oversight. There's a lack of understanding as far as who's putting money in the pockets of the president, but you can curry favors. So Corey, I mean, is that scary? Like, I think that people aren't really making, yeah, someone said money laundering. Absolutely. I don't think people are really paying attention to that. And that's a big deal. It's a big deal. Corey?
Sorry, I was fighting with the mute button.
Oh.
Yeah, that's I mean, I want to say that I'm surprised. But unfortunately, I feel like they're just out here in front of everybody, not caring that most of us see through it. And I think it's because they've put themselves in a position where they feel like they're not touchable.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
it's definitely scary because history. If you know it, then you know that that's not a good sign. That's not a good
Yeah.
sign at all.
Absolutely. Absolutely. All right. Corey, anything else before I drop you down?
No, I don't think so.
All right. Perfect. Thank you, Corey. All right, Slowy, I want to come back to you because there's been a lot said, and I would like to give you the opportunity to actually to speak to any of the points that we've covered so far. Slowy, you're there?
Yeah, my mic died.
Oh, are you actually using a mic?
Yeah, I got one of those little like plug-in ones that go into the bottom of the phone, and it lasts. I don't know. I don't turn it off. Yeah, I'm using the mic.
Oh, okay. All right. Yeah. Floor is yours.
I don't know. I guess to address the Trump family and the crypto thing, I would say, I'm not worried. They don't seem to be very good career criminals. Trump having felony charges on his record would prove that. So once again, the transparency issue, or thing that kind of Trump brings to everything that he touches. If it's going to be used maliciously, it's only going to be used maliciously for a short amount of time, because the magnifying glass that follows Trump everywhere normally finds any dirt that there is to find. So, I mean, anything that they touch, if it is malicious, will be found out. So, I mean, if they get to make some money, they get to make some money. But what politician isn't making money themselves currently? It's almost like getting elected is a sure way to become rich these days. So,
Hmm. Hmm. Okay. Aaron, would you like to respond to that?
Yeah, absolutely. I kind of have a lot to say, but I would argue, yeah, that our government officials shouldn't be allowed to do what is effectively insider trading, buying stocks and stuff in, companies that make spicy balloons. And because you have insider knowledge, because you're in those meetings that are classified and that no one else in the world is allowed to know what you're doing. But then, like Pelosi might get her husband to say, hey, go buy these stocks, and I'll buy these stocks. And, it's a loophole that definitely needs to be closed. So I could agree with you on that one tiny thing. The other thing would be the Gaza stuff, which is news that I specifically focus on and specialize in. And I think it's great that you understand that there's some sort of problem. There's some sort of great inequality there. And if I'm correct here, I'm assuming that you understand that the Palestinians may have been done wrong or treated wrong in some way. Is that fair to say? Slowy?
yes. Yeah, I would say that the blockades that happened after a legal election took place in Gaza would be, in my opinion, an act of war. So you can get people to act aggressively by being nonviolent. So yeah, it's hard to say America's doing the right thing in regards to that situation.
Okay, that's fair. We can work with that. That's not crazy. I'm usually arguing with crazy all day. So regarding that, I guess you're assuming that the 2006 election of the H group was somehow illegal, but that was not illegal. That was one of the few democratic elections that Gaza has ever had. Now, a lot of people like to justify this encounter with the fact that this was voted for, that, well, they're responsible for the atrocities that happen as a result of that. Well, most of the people that are of age now were not of age to vote. Most people were children or younger during that time. And of course, they voted for the H group because the Palestinian Authority is essentially the right hand of Israel, and they function in the West Bank. They often do some things in Gaza, but essentially they're just the right hand of Israel, and they do whatever they say, and they function as a part of the IDF, and they pass laws and approve things and do things in accordance with what Israel does. Now, if we understand that Israel is an ethno-state, what does that mean? It means that it's really only a one religion, one type of people state, and that's why they want these other people out. So the Zionists, and we're not vilifying Jewish people, because Zionism and Judaism are two entirely different things. So no anti-Semitism here, right? We like to make that clear. But regarding the Zionism, they believe that they have a God-given right to the land, as Christians do and as Muslims do. We all have our claims religiously, but I don't want to get bogged down on that. But they believe that they have the God-given right to take the land by any means necessary. So when you said earlier that, the sort of demolition of this land, it's very unsafe to live there, well, who caused that? Who did that for the past year? And it's a rhetorical question. It's Israel. They were dropping spicy balloons more than we dropped on Afghanistan. To put that in perspective, we were in Afghanistan for like 20 years, man. We didn't do that type of damage. And the collateral damage to civilians, mostly women and children, I think we can all agree that that's crazy. That's an atrocity, right? So it's not just magic that this is all of a sudden a demolition site, and we need to clear all the rubble and do construction, build Trump's Riviera, which would be another failed business like his casinos, his steaks, his airlines, his universities, pretty much anything he's touched, right?
Right.
So he's not going to do good for Gaza.
Yeah. And, it's interesting, and it's interesting that people think that, or even more so, people who stood on a protest vote and for some reason thought that, Donald Trump would be the better option for Palestinians than Kamala Harris. It's absolutely mind blowing that they would do that. Howdy, partner. I want to push this around.
Can I jump in real quick?
Sure, go ahead, Sloy.
In regards to hospitality, and if the plan was to help build a tourist attraction in that area, I think that there hasn't been or won't be a politician that is as qualified as Trump in regards to that, if that is in fact what is going to be rebuilt there.
What?
I mean, Jimmy Carter obviously gave it a pretty good shot. Yeah, go ahead. Hold on, sorry.
Sloy, come off mute.
Yes, sir.
Santana, real quick before you start that conversation.
I'm not. I was about to come to you because I missed your hand earlier, and so I wanted to come to you before. Literally, I was about to come to you before he said anything. As a matter of fact, I'm not even going to say anything. Floor is yours. I'm sorry.
No, I'm going to hand the floor over to you. It is 1:30. My husband has work at 5 a.m. and if I wake him up, I am going to be in so much trouble. I want to thank you so much for having me. I guess I'll say my last point real quick.
Yeah.
Is I will give Slowey a point. Trump is transparent in some ways, but every time he's transparent, his followers make an excuse for the transparency of, oh, he didn't mean it that way. Oh, he wouldn't actually do that, when he's telling you exactly what he will do. And then when he's lying to your face, they say, oh, nope, that's the truth. That's the thing that's going to happen. So you're right. When he is transparent, but every time he's transparent, we tell you that he is going to do this thing. He is being dead serious, unalive serious. Sorry, TikTok. That when we scream it from the rooftops, all y'all do is go, no, he would never actually do that. When he's going play by play by play of exactly the awful things he said he would do. Santana, I want to thank you so much for having me. I wish I could stay longer, but unfortunately, I do need to head out.
No, listen, thank you so much for coming up. I appreciate you. And please come back.
I will. Thank you so much. You have a great night and good luck with the live.
Thank you. Yeah, guys, keep tapping the screen. Let's go ahead and get the likes up to 250,000 likes. Let's get the shares up as well. If we can knock the daily gift goal out with the little donuts. And also, guys, we still have $155 left in our nightly donation goal. There's 653 people hanging out. So if 155 people send $1, we can close it out. Cash App, PayPal, Venmo, all the pay links are in the link tree in the bio. Santana Speaks 24. Best way to support the live. Anything is accepted. Everything is appreciated. And if you are over on YouTube, you can always send a YouTube super chat to support, and I will read that out. Pops, I want to come to you. Pops, what would you like to add to the conversation? Pops? Pops, are you there? Pops going once. Pops going twice. Pops, I'm going to drop you down. KP, it's been a while.
Yes, sir.
What would you like to add? Because I'm kind of tripping off of this whole Gaza situation and how, for some reason, Slowy is. I don't get the justification, and that last comment about, if it's going to be real estate, then Trump is the best person for it. Wild statement. Wild. So, what are your thoughts? Where do you want to go with this?
I will say, because I'm about to drop down, one of the sentiments that I gathered from Slowy is that let's not rush, to demonize Trump and wish badly upon America. I just want to say that the time has arrived. We are at the point now where he is threatening federally appointed judges with impeachment for going against anything that he says. He is deporting people without due process, and as anyone with that common sense that you were, maybe not you, but were referring to earlier, when you don't have due process, there is no telling who is legal and not legal, because that is literally what due process is for. So I just think it's really concerning that, like, in an instance like that, so many Republicans are willing to just say, yeah, they're all gang members, and send people to such horrible conditions, the worst of the worst prisons in another country, in a country they might not even be from, under the guise of keeping everybody safe. I mean, he is deporting people at a lesser rate than Biden was at this time. And that is because he lied to everybody, to all of his supporters, about how many people that were actually a danger to us were in our country. And he can't live up to the numbers, so he is going to be taking people that, yes, may be here illegally, but have built a life here. And I don't understand how, as a human, we can't stop and have some empathy for people, just in general, and be able to view things objectively. Like, he has objectively been a net negative to our country so far, and we're 3 months in. And I don't have any political points to gain from I don't have an agenda. I literally just want everyone to be able to live the best life that they can, and I don't want to push anything onto anybody. So that's one thing that you said you voted for Jill Stein, and you claim to be somewhat middle. That's one thing that I can encourage, is that don't look at the news. I forget who pointed it out earlier, but don't look at the news. Go by his actions and what is happening. Because when you look at things objectively, it is so, so bad. So that's all I'd like to add, Santana. Thank you for having me up.
Absolutely, KP. Thank you, my friend. I appreciate you being here.
Have a good night, everybody.
You as well. You as well. Jillian, what would you like to add?
I think it just pretty much got summed up by that last guest. Yeah. I'm still also kind of reeling over if it's gonna be real estate. It's gonna be
that was a wild statement, right? Like, okay, so hold on, Jillian. Slowly come off of mute, and again, like help me understand how you think that's okay, because I'm that statement apparently took everybody back.
Okay. Well, first off, I said hospitality, as in the sense of, like, there's going to be attractions to draw people in. You know what I mean? And that's hotels, and in that sense, not just real estate, right? Like, I don't know the track records of other politicians, but, that's making the claim that he's the best in real estate ever would be kind of far-fetched. But as far as hospitality goes, like, he is connected to how many hotels and golf courses and, like, just like I said, like, attractions, where if you could calm the climate down there and give them a way to make money. Of course, his plan currently is to rebuild it and give it to Israel, which I don't align with. Like, that's the part I don't like. But if you don't worry about who's going to retain control, and you just say, okay, America is going to step in and help rebuild. If the goal is to make it a tourist attraction type area, Trump is very qualified in handling that, or appointing the people to do that. Better than Harris would have been.
But she wouldn't turn it into a tourist attraction, because it's not a tourist attraction. That's the point.
Correct me if I'm wrong. Isn't there a port there that's being indisputed? Like,
There's ports, there's beaches, there's the Red Sea, there's the Suez Canal. I mean, there's a lot of area that is of access that Israel and the United States would love to have for trade. And the Houthis are blocking part of it, by the way, which is why they are being spicy ballooned.
Right. So, like I said, that there's more at play than just like ethnic cleansing of an area. It's there's so many different things, and to not really be well versed on most of the stuff that we're talking about. I just know that most of the time what's reported on the news is not really what's the motivating factor in any story. So I would want to know, like, what are the plans for the ports and so on and so forth. And it does seem like that's really what Israel is pushing for control of is that port.
If I can respond.
You absolutely can. You absolutely can. Like, you got it.
Oh, man. All right. Thank you. So the first off, it's just not anyone's land to be messing with. First of all, the land is Palestine, right? Like, that's not crazy. And Israel is doing what they're doing because they want the land. They have illegal settlements all over the country, which are not recognized by the UN. That's violating international law. I know that doesn't seem to matter anymore when you unalive 208 journalists in Gaza in a year. When you got the multiple human rights violations. I won't echo myself here again. But it's not his place to build hotels or turn it into a resort. The beaches, the ports, the beautiful, sea life that's there, and the Gazan food that they enjoy, that is for those people. And they have been walled in for a very long time and living under an apartheid occupation, which I would ask probably the African American people here on the panel if they recognize anything like that's going on. Only certain cars can drive on certain roads. You can only get a day pass to go into Jerusalem. You got to have a real good reason. They don't let people go into certain things. You can't go out your front door in parts of Hebron. People have to go out their back door or out of the freaking roof to get in their car. And they can't even go down the road that their house is facing because that's an Israeli-only road. I mean, we talk about the Jim Crow laws and, bring, Trump's Liberation Day and all this stuff.
Liberation Day.
Yeah. Liberation Day, shout out. So, I mean, the reason why the African American community marches with the Palestinians, the reason why the Irish do the same thing is because they've been there. They've seen it. They hate it. They recognize it, right? South America sees that apartheid. And that's why they have a court case in the International Criminal Court, right? So the reason they're going after them, they recognize it when they see it. And it's kind of crazy that Germany doesn't see it, which is really telling. And the fact that they want to have a sister city with Tel Aviv is really scary and really telling. But first of all, it's just not their land to build on. That is land for the Gazans. They should have the right to return. But guess what? Nobody has the right to return. Israelis and people who are Jewish have the right to return. If you were to become Jewish today, you could definitely get dual citizenship and run over to Israel, and you could start building a settlement or even move into a place that's not a settlement. But arguably, you probably choose a settlement because it would allow you to, just pretty much move on anywhere you want. And the people that live in the settlements terrorize the Palestinians. I don't know if I can say that word, sorry. But they go over and they do things to them every day. The farmers, they go pull up their olive trees, they burn them, they burn their farms. They damage water pipes that they need for irrigation. They try to provoke fights while they have the IDF standing beside them with pew-pews. So, I mean, the inequalities are huge, right? And we can remember that it wasn't too long ago that America was just like that. And we didn't have those rights. So to blame it all on the age group is crazy, right?
Yeah. No, and so slowly, I mean, I'm kind of at the point where it's it's wild. Like I don't understand your statements, and not only do I not understand your statements, I don't understand your position. I don't understand your vote. I don't understand your support. I kind of feel like you said you voted for Jill Stein, but the way that you've been up here caping for Trump, leads me to believe that you're not necessarily truthful in that. Like, I'm a little confused. Maybe you can clarify any of it, because it seems a little disingenuous.
I never intend to be disingenuous, so if I confuse, it's not intentional. I'm just curious, how do you think Harris would approach the Gaza situation any different than Trump in regards to who she would support?
Kamala Harris wanted a two-state solution, and she wanted an immediate ceasefire. And also, like, she, of course, couldn't separate too much from Joe Biden in the moment, but she definitely wanted to take a stronger stance and position than Joe Biden as far as Israel. So, like, there was a lot to that. There was a lot more to that. But I guess a better question would be, like, did you know what Trump's position was versus what Kamala Harris' position was? Like, did you know any of these?
I would say that I didn't know whether or not Trump wanted a two-state solution there. I will go on record saying that. Like, I have no problem saying that. Did he ever say in the campaign that he wanted to give it to Israel?
Yeah, he said he wanted to finish the job. Oh, okay. So what was your protest vote on then? I'm trying to fully understand, like, what was the premise of your protest vote?
I don't think either party put their best option forward. Okay, so the reason why I wouldn't...
And you thought Jill Stein was better than both Kamala Harris and Donald Trump.
Would you suggest just not voting? What would you say if I came up here and said I didn't vote in this election?
F off. I mean, but like, again, I just like that. It doesn't make sense. So are you, like, did you not vote? I'm confused because the math isn't mathing, friend. It's not adding up.
What do you mean? What's not mathing? I'm telling you I voted for Jill Stein.
Okay. Jillian?
And I don't think that it's hard for me to align with the Democrats in any, like, loyal kind of way, given their track record, just in recent years. Like, I don't,
like,
I can't align with the party.
What's the track record?
They have a track record of making people believe that they are the party of the people, but if you really just kind of do some critical thinking and some research, you will realize that, like, universal health care sounds great, but the people or things that are going to benefit the most are the corporations that still get to make profit off of it. So I used to be a huge pusher. Like, I was like, oh yeah, universal health care is such a great idea. And then I realized how much money was made off the COVID vaccine, and it was pushed to us as
C19.
free. Like, wait, hold on.
Hey, why is your page so weird?
What do you mean?
Your page. Why do you have so many videos of you on Hector's and Chris's panel?
Oh, I don't. What do you mean? I have like 2 or 3?
You got 1, 2. You got 6.
I have 6, really?
Yeah.
Interesting.
You have 6 videos of you on Hector and Chris's panel.
Oh, that was just one live I joined. I got access to clip it, so I clipped it.
And you saying you didn't vote for Trump?
I didn't vote for Trump.
Hold on.
Instead of yapping. Is there any chance I can get a Democrat to explain this? The lack of... I don't know. What did the Democrats do to stop this again? I don't have instead of yapping.
Let's see. Hold on. He's got a clip of me on his page, guys.
Instead of yapping, explain to me how she's not a black woman. She's from India. Explain it.
Okay, and so you use that video to say...
Is there any chance I can get a Democrat to explain this in the lack of...
Okay, so listen, slowly. I want you to explain to me. So you have an actual clip of me on your page, right? This is wild. So the clip that you chose to use of me that I posted was the actual back and forth with someone who was saying that Kamala Harris isn't black. And we were talking about black people.
I think that was on
And
Parker's Live, wasn't it?
say it again?
I think that was on Parker's Live, wasn't it?
No. Something else. This is mine. Right?
Okay.
And so Slowy, in that same clip, as we were talking about Kamala Harris being black and actually talking about black people, Slowy then actually posted a picture saying, "Can some Democrats explain these numbers to me?" And the picture is a picture of giving a year-by-year breakdown, 2021, 2022, 2023, 2024, and it talks about the number of OD unaliving. So, Slowy, why did you choose the conversation of me talking about Kamala Harris and black people? Welcome in, GT Raid. Why did you pick the conversation of me talking about Kamala Harris and black people to then actually connect that with the number of OD unalivings in America? How did that make sense to you?
Honestly, I'd have to look at the clip. I don't think I've never added you to a clip with.
It's on your page. I just looked at it.
Then the audio didn't play as I was editing. Is what I would say. Like, it was an honest mistake. Like, I didn't try to connect your audio in any way to that. That's why I phrased it the way I did. If I was talking to you directly in the clip or responding to something in audio in the clip, I would have said, "Hey, can you," and then I would have said your name, "Can you address this issue, or can you answer this question?" But I phrased it in a way that it is open-ended, correct?
Why would you have the video of me talking about black people and then you stitch that with the actual OD unalivings in the United States? How do those two things correlate?
Probably just poor editing on my part, right? Like I just said, if you're gonna try and point it out that I think that the OD issue is a race thing, you're a fool.
Okay, so I could see this going 2 ways. Either I give you the very weird benefit of the doubt and say this is an accident. Then I'm going to say what my child says to me a lot is that sometimes we're too old to use technology and we shouldn't even try. Or you are lying worse than anything I can think of. Like, if you really didn't know that you put those together like that, then you shouldn't be making those clips and those videos, because that's...
Well, for one, you shouldn't be telling me what I should or shouldn't do, right? And I'm a survivor of multiple...
Jillian was still talking.
Oh, no, I'm good. I'm good.
I'm a survivor of an overdose or two. So it's not a racial issue. It's a very personal issue. And I would say that you trying to make it a racial issue would be deflecting of the actual problem, which is why the numbers have gotten so high.
Yeah, again, the weird thing was you actually putting that video on and then actually connecting it. That was weird. That was weird. That was weird. That, like, his entire page is weird.
Yeah.
His entire page is weird.
I think we gave him some benefits of the doubt on a lot of stuff, and I was like, man, he doesn't sound like a crazy Zionist. He doesn't sound like a Trump supporter that's totally off the rails, but like, Then
But
again,
he
he's
is.
still defending Trump. Yeah, it's like, come on. He's like telling you he's not, but he's like, he's behind the mask of the wolf, and he's like, you know, come on, man.
Yeah. That got really interesting.
Yeah.
Well,
That got
since
really.
we're not in the middle of a specific like anything right now, I just have to share last night at my work, which I've said numerous times. It's a biker bar. It's almost all mega, but I'm having this conversation with one of my regulars, and I just keep bringing up stuff. I'm like, well, what about this? And he's like, oh, that's good because of this or because of that. He actually, I mentioned Greenland, and he tried to tell me that the people of Greenland want to be part of America.
They actually believe that.
No way.
Yes, he's dead serious. He truly believes that Greenland wants to be part of our country.
They actually believe that. Like seriously, they hot partner. They actually believe that.
100% serious.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. You know what? I think this is where like this night just kind of yeah. Jillian.
It's an interesting one.
It went off the rails. It went to somewhere that it wasn't supposed to go. Like it was a night. Actually, let's do this. Because I'm gonna save you for last, Jillian. Aaron, final thoughts.
Man, I'm really happy to find people that are sort of the same mind. Sometimes it's really hard to get people to believe in genuine human rights, or just hate to use the word common sense again, but it kind of feels like when we're talking about these issues where it's like a really low bar to clear. It's stuff like, you know, income inequality, the healthcare stuff, you know, what's going on in Gaza. These are low bars to clear. These are easy humanitarian questions that we can ask ourselves. Yeah, it's so easy. So I get real happy when some people clear the bar. So the bar is really low, but we've all jumped over it tonight. So I appreciate that. I appreciate the calm and rational discussion. I think it was great that we were able to talk to Slowy and he wasn't like shouting at us or like, or that we weren't being rude to him, you know, and like talking down to him in any sort of way, even though it seems like he turned a little malicious at the end and may have had some secret intent. A gotcha. Yeah. He wanted to clip you and
I think that's what it really boiled down to, is he thought he was going to actually be able to clip me because, again, like he has an affinity with Hector. He had 5 videos of Hector on his page. So yeah, that was that. Yeah.
But yeah, you're too calm and chill to be taken advantage of or to be caught saying something you shouldn't. So I think that's a good thing. I want to thank everyone on the panel, and I want to thank you, Santana, for having me up. First time guest here, just been listening for a while and trying to get to know everybody. And I really appreciate this community and this discussion, and it's really cool to have these roundtable moments and not just the blood sport debates, you know? Although that has its place, right?
It does, and I absolutely love, like, that's something I love about late nights here, is that you, for a lot of time, you do get opportunities to actually have those conversations, and when you can have those genuine conversations with genuine people, then that's really important. So I appreciate you actually adding to that conversation tonight.
Well, thank you. I appreciate it. Appreciate you letting me speak. I know I can rant a little bit, but I don't.
We all do, Frank. We all do. I appreciate you. I'm gonna drop you down.
Thanks,
Jillian.
Yeah.
Floor is yours.
I don't even know what to say at this point.
It was a wild night, Jillian. It was a wild night.
It's definitely been an interesting one. Yeah. I don't know. My brain's all over the place.
It was one of those nights. Well, Jillian, listen, thank you for coming up and hanging out with us.
Yeah.
That was awesome. Are you coming back tomorrow?
I might. I work a double on Tuesdays, so if I do, it'll probably be.
Well, listen, just know, like, put your AirPods in or whatever, and put us in your pocket, and do your thing.
I don't know if I can really do that while I'm bartending.
Yeah, no, I understand. Well,
Not sure that
listen,
would work too well. I might start
yeah,
screaming and people won't know what I'm screaming about.
I get it. I get it. I get it. Anyway, Jillian, I appreciate you so much. I'm gonna drop you down.
All right, see you later.
Have a good one. Guys, that was a weird night. It was a weird night. It was a weird night. Like it was a weird night. Or was it just me? Did anybody else think that? Like, has anybody else been watching all night and just like, what in the world is happening? Yeah, it was weird. So it wasn't just me. YouTube, Twitch, did you guys think it was a weird night? I don't know. But on the plus side, God darn it, camera, stop moving. On the plus side, nowhere but up from here. Upward and onward. Upward and onward, I say. Yeah. That's what yeah. That's what we're gonna do. We're going it got weird. The mask is off. Yeah. Yeah. Alright guys, listen, we're gonna go ahead and get out of here. But something that I want to make sure that I tell each and every person. Listen, for everybody that's hanging out right now, there's 627 people hanging out right now. 627 people hanging out right now. Guys, so I'm gonna do a thing on Thursday, right? And I need everyone's help. All 627 people hanging out. I need you to go grab a friend and a friend and a friend and all this other stuff. And I need you guys to have my back. Because on Thursday, I'm gonna be battling. I don't do battles. But I'm gonna battle Jessica Simone. I'm gonna battle Jessica Simone Thursday. And yeah, like she watched me last time. I'm not even gonna lie. 2-0. She watched me 2-0. So Thursday, I'm gonna battle Jessica Simone. And I tell you what time? I don't know, somewhere after sparring for sure. But I'll tell you what. If we win this battle this time, I'll break some massive news. How about that? Like massive. How does that sound? Is that a deal? No, I think his birthday is next Thursday. What is? Oh, it is. Cause wait, the second. Yeah, it is. Is Thursday the second? Is it the second or third? I gotta check. Yeah. Oh, so that's the deal. Okay, so if we win this battle, Thursday against Jessica Simone, I will break massive news. But we gotta win. If we win this battle Thursday, I'll break massive news. How about that? Is that a deal? You guys got my back? Because I've only battled one time and I lost, and I've never battled again because I'm a sore loser. Like, I hate losing. See, now you guys got me confused. Is Parker's birthday the 7th or the 3rd or the 2nd? Let me text him. I know he's gonna be off. He's gonna be offline. So it's the 7th. I thought so. I don't know. Like, you guys are gonna make me be a horrible friend. And now I already texted him. You guys are about to make me seem like a really bad friend. L's in the chat for the chat. Parker's only on the 5th. Stop trying to confuse me. Why are you guys trying to confuse me? Holy smokes. You guys got me out here trying to, got me out here looking like a bad friend. You said it wasn't you. Yeah. Oh, yeah. So we had to pivot. But we are fleshing a few things out because we want to. I know you were asking about the intersectionality week. Yeah, we originally had it planned for this week, but we are fleshing a few things out just to make it a little bit more robust and more enjoyable. We like to, provide the best possible experience here on late nights, and I promise you, you will get the best possible experience. He won't be on the 2nd, 3rd, 4th, and 6th. Got it. All right. Anyway, guys, listen, we're going to go ahead and get out of here. We're going to call it a night because it has been a long, weird night. Who's live? Jessica Simone. Let's go raid Jessica Simone. Can we put Jessica Simone's information? Can we pin her information? We're going to go raid Jessica Simone. Does anybody know? When we raid her, let her know Thursday it's going down. Santana raid Thursday is going down. We're gonna go raid Jessica Simone Thursday. It is going down. And Lucas sold my parlay Lakers in 5. Yeah, guys, we're gonna how do I do this? Dang it. Hold on. There. That's what I'm looking for. All right, guys, let's go raid Jessica Simone over on Twitch. We're gonna go raid T-Pain. I'm sending Twitch over to raid T-Pain. And TikTok, go raid Jessica Simone. There it is. It's pinned. All right, guys, we're going to get out of here. I love you guys. Thank you all for the likes, the taps, the shares, all the donation. Thank you for being amazing. I love you all, and we'll see you all tomorrow. And as always, peace.